2, 1.
All right, good Thursday morning and first day of Fiesta, David.
And we're starting it off with a bro show.
Exactly. What better way
Talk
to start
about
Fiesta
some
season
partying. Here it is right here.
Then with a bro show here on KSAT News Now. We appreciate you guys being with us. We're of course streaming on KSAT platforms and also have the podcast going on this morning. And yes, as David said, we're broing it up here.
Yeah,
Justin's
Alicia
gonna be
Barrera
with
is actually getting ready for the first big event. She's going to be part of the broadcast crew tonight for Fiesta, something you can watch live right here in KSAT, and we'll of course talk about that more in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all got Fiesta fever here across San Antonio. So really excited for Fiesta to be back in full force. And of course, we're going to be talking about some other stories here, David. The latest in Ukraine and, expected possibly refugees coming to the U.S.
Yeah, we're also going to be talking about day 5 of the Will Smith, Chris Rock saga. We knew this thing was going to go on for a while, and it is. And Market Square icon has passed away, so we're going to get to that here in just a few minutes.
Yeah,
as well.
some developing news that we had earlier this morning. So, and as we mentioned earlier, we'll get to weather in just a bit because people, of course, want to know what that Fiesta weather is going to be like. But first, we have some late breaking news, David.
Yeah, we're going to get to that late breaking news right now. It's happening on the west side. 32 fire units have been called out to the scene of a 2-alarm fire at an apartment complex.
And all this happening at the 7500 block of Ingram Road that is off of Culebra. Jonathan Cotto is on the scene and he is joining us live this morning with the very latest. Jonathan, what can you tell us?
And let me tell you, it's been an alarming warning for the folks who live here at this apartment community and a hectic one for first responders who have been busy attempting to put off the flames that have completely destroyed the apartment building right behind me. But let's take a look at what that scene looks like right now. This is pretty much what's left of this 8-unit apartment building. We're learning out of the 8 units here, only 5 were rented out, and crews on scene tell us luckily those 5 people were able to make it out safely. We're told some were at work when this all went down. But let's talk about the effort that is still ongoing by fire crews right now. We know they were called out close to 9 o'clock this morning. They say they immediately tackled the flames on the defensive, the roofs and walls quickly collapsing, and they are calling this a total loss. The Red Cross is on scene, and I'm told property management will be working on getting those people relocated. Now, David, RJ, because the call reported several dumpsters on fire, one of them being right here, right to my side. They're calling this fire suspicious. Arson is on scene investigating the cause of this fire, but they do have reason to believe this fire is suspicious in nature. Right now, they are looking into one person of interest, possibly responsible or involved in this fire this morning. Reporting live from the west side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Of course, you'll be back on KSAT 12 News at noon with another update for us on that apartment complex fire.
Yeah, absolutely. So now moving on to some international news here that obviously could affect us here in the States. Ukrainians living in the U.S. are mobilizing to help 100,000 expected refugees expected to arrive in the country. Yeah,
remember President Biden, his administration announced last week they're going to be accepting about 100,000 of those folks. They are working to provide housing here in the U.S., food, sense of community to refugees. Matter of fact, Sacramento is among those preparing for an influx of new residents, given the region's already high concentration of Ukrainians.
That's right, and agencies involved in the formal resettlement process have released a few details so far about when and where Ukrainians will begin arriving, but we do know that churches are mobilizing members to serve as host families, and as we've seen since this war began, I mean, millions of people have fled from their homes. It's an estimated over 4 million people have now fled Ukraine.
And there's an organization here in San Antonio also trying to do their part to help out. We've, of course, been watching this for well over a month now, and as you mentioned, millions have fled Ukraine, but unfortunately there are some civilians who have been left behind in Ukraine. They can't get out. They're stranded in that country. So a local nonprofit, Ukrainian San Antonio, is trying to help here in the Alamo City with medical supplies. So they're having a fundraiser today, and it's basically a operation to try to get some medical supplies so they can help these folks who are stuck in Ukraine.
Yeah, and they've been doing a lot since the war there in Ukraine started. They've been collecting supplies. They've been sending money over there. Because a lot of these people that are involved with Ukrainian San Antonio have family members, loved ones that are there, and constantly just updating them about what is going on. So here's some details on today's event. So they're hosting this medical supply drive today from from 11 a.m. to 2, so that just got started. This is going to be out the Hilton Garden Inn at the Rim, so that's at 5730 Rim Pass.
Of course, that's over in northwest San Antonio, out I-10 in that direction. Now they're looking for new items. They don't want any expired items, so make sure you check your expiration dates on some of these medical supplies that are asking for. If you're going to take some medical supplies, you're looking for tactical medicine, bandages, and dressings. If you don't have any of that handy, you can always go to their website. They've got a whole list of items that you can actually get a link to and buy yourself right there on the website that are available. A lot of different things they're looking, all kinds of stuff they're looking for.
Absolutely, and they've been very active on social media too, sharing a lot of information. So I've done a couple of stories with Ukrainian San Antonio, David, and I continue to say this is that they're a very resilient group, and they're just trying to do what they can to make sure that their loved ones back home get something to help, just anything to help. You can imagine it's a helpless feeling for them being here, but this is something that they're doing for their loved ones.
And we've seen the pictures, the constant bombardment of cities all across Ukraine, and we know that there are so many different injuries and so many civilians just caught in this whole war. And so these folks here in San Antonio are doing what they can, and we know what kind of heart San Antonio has, so we know a lot of folks are going to be stepping up and doing what they can to help out all those civilians in Ukraine who are just caught up in this war.
Definitely. Okay. Well, speaking of heart of San Antonio, I think a lot of people maybe hearts hurting a little bit this morning as we switch to a local story here. And David, if you've ever visited Market Square or been around the downtown or even the West Side area, then chances are that you have seen or possibly met Hispanic Elvis. And we have sad news to report this morning, as he has unfortunately passed away. Yeah,
his brother George Cisneros said he was 76 years old, passed away at a nursing home. Hispanic Elvis is known for his King of Rock and Roll clothes, impersonations, and of course his friendly personality. We've done many stories with him. Matter of fact, I caught up with him one day in Meteors, entertaining visitors, because you know Meteors is one of those tourist spots in downtown San Antonio, and he just a cool act all the way around.
Well, yeah, no, you said it right there, and obviously for people that are watching us on the visual platforms, always was willing to take pictures with everyone, and when you first heard that he was in the hospital, a lot of people were sending in photos. A lot of people sending in, their prayers for him. Now, unfortunately, he was not able to fully recover at the hospital. Ended up having to be in hospice, and so figured that this was going to happen sooner or later. But still, just some sad news. Such a local personality and a thing that made Market Square, Mitiera. I mean, this was like San Antonio right there. He was an icon. He was one of those things that you kind of look forward to seeing when you went downtown. So we have more information online about his life and basically why he started wearing the Elvis clothing. And he used to go. His brother told me that he used to go to a Penner's. Penner's was the shop that he used to go get all his clothes. Yes, Penner's. So for people that grew up here, probably pretty familiar with that location as well. But our condolences to his family as Hispanic Elvis has passed away.
He looked good and he sounded good.
There you go. Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. So yeah, he's going to be missed downtown. So in the meantime, the Will Smith slap being heard around the world, still being heard around the world because we're still talking about this thing. And we're talking about it because things keep changing, keep evolving. There's Chris Rock right there, headed into his performance last night. He was on stage for the first time last night. He was in Boston, 2 shows. And when he showed up, when he came out behind the curtain and came out to the not this stage, the Boston stage. When he came out to the big stage, he got a standing ovation. People showing a lot of love for Chris Rock and the way he handled that whole situation last Sunday at the Oscars.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, very emotional time right now for Chris Rock. He said that he's still basically processing it. Obviously, people were wanting to hear what he was going to say. Yeah. He said that, at the moment, he didn't really want to go into much detail about the incident. He said that, it's obviously still fresh in his mind and still sort of dealing with everything that happened. He did make one joke where he came out where he was just like, hey, how was everyone's weekend?
which is pretty. And it's Chris Rock, so I mean, he may still be processing, but one day it's going to get processed, and it's going to get processed into some jokes.
Probably,
and it's going to get processed into some probably some funny jokes and some interesting jokes. I know there were some fans that came out of his shows last night, and some of them were kind of disappointed that he didn't go into more detail and to talk about it more. And some of them were like, hey, you know, he mentioned it. We came here to see him. He's a funny guy. We love him. So kind of some mixed reaction, but I think most of the fans understood. Most of the fans were pretty happy just to see him. But
just see him
you
back
know
on
that's going to get in
stage.
his act at some point.
But the other side of this coin, obviously the Will Smith part of this, and there were some new details from the Academy. They shared yesterday in a long statement that they actually asked Will Smith to leave after the incident and that he refused. So now
you got to wonder how
they're
that
thinking
went.
of what to do here. Some more
and they said they could have handled the situation better, but you're still trying to figure out what situation they're talking about, what they're talking about as far as what they were trying to handle. Were they trying to handle getting him out of the theater, and they could have handled that better with just the whole situation all together? I mean, because that was kind of an interesting comment from the Academy of, you know, we could have handled it better. I don't know. Okay, what would you have done? But they were trying to get him out of there. So now they're meeting and they're trying to figure out what kind of punishment to give him. So
possibly sanctioning him, suspending him from attending any future shows, probably maybe even be nominated for any future awards. But they're saying that most likely will not take away the Oscar, which is something we kind of talked about before we started.
I mean, he won the Oscar. He won it before any of this happened. This had nothing to do with him winning the Oscar. This had something to do with a joke that Chris Rock told and his wife. So, I mean, you know, he can keep the Oscar. My question is, will he ever be allowed back in that theater again? And, you know, next year he would be actually presenting an award because he won the Oscar this year. Yeah. So I got a feeling he's not going to be presenting that award next year. That might be the punishment.
Wait, did something happen at the Academy Awards?
Yeah.
What am I missing here? You guys
That made me laugh. That made me laugh. That was good. Just
I can understand because you're buried in weather. Because, you know, you're just focused because it's Fiesta and nobody cares about anything but what the weather's going to be like around Fiesta, and that's where your mind is. We appreciate that.
No, absolutely. On the weather. Justin is
we'll catch you up on all this other stuff later.
Appreciate
What's the weather going to be like?
Yeah, well,
good stuff.
Listen, we got great weather today to start Fiesta, so I'm excited about that, okay?
All right, one down, how many to go?
Yeah, exactly. But also, yesterday, we had the Aurora borealis.
Whoa, okay.
Not so much here.
Is that part of the
Say that again, 3 times fast?
Not here.
Did I miss that Fiesta party?
You guys have seen it, the Northern Lights. Come on, you've seen
if it's not a Fiesta party, it should be. That's a great name.
Well, I mean, there were some people partying because it was so beautiful yesterday. So
that's right. Okay.
The Northern Lights, you know, the green.
Up there in Alaska, right?
Alaska, Canada, northern latitudes. Then also the southern latitudes, but we won't get into that. So what causes the Aurora borealis? That's our trivia question today. You got 4 choices here.
Too much partying?
We're going to dig into the deep science here. Gravitational pull from the moon. Is it the jet stream? Is it a coronal mass ejection or cold air from the North Pole? What do you think?
David? Would you like to take a shot here?
Yeah, I am.
And too much partying was not
partying for somebody.
Is not option.
That's not an option.
Started seeing those lights and then, ooh, wait, hold on. I'm going to go with just because it sounds more like scientific. I'm going with C.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know.
Let's see. What do we do here? You know, Justin accused me earlier of knowing the answer to this, but I obviously
we talked about it the other day, RJ. Come on.
Oh, you already get tipped off.
We were talking about it. I think I was tipped off, but you know what? Let's go A.
Well, it's David got it right.
Oh,
see, it is a coronal mass ejection.
Maybe you were listening to
the infamous coronal mass ejection from the sun. So what is that? So the sun, for lack of a better term,
too much partying. The sun is burping. That's what
burps out a huge bubble of electrified gas.
That does happen during this time.
Wow.
When the storm arrives to Earth, it travels down magnetic field lines at the North and South Pole, and they interact with the gases in our atmosphere, and you get those beautiful green, red, blues, and purples, depending on what kind of gas. Oxygen, nitrogen, they produce different colors.
So how does the gas get electrified?
It's a whole thing. I don't want to go into chemistry. It's a whole thing. Just take my word for it.
It's science. Fun, yes.
But it was beautiful. There's a lot of pictures. If you've been on Twitter, there's a lot of pictures coming out. It was pretty awesome. It was seen as far south as Colorado, by the way.
Wow. Okay.
Which is pretty far south.
See, this is Justin's into the Aurora borealis, and everyone's else talking about Chris Rock.
Just
Justin's here,
just like-
focused.
See,
Good
that's
stuff,
why
man.
we
Good stuff,
appreciate
man.
Justin.
Deep in the
Good stuff,
science.
man.
I
Yeah.
think that borealis thing was in like a Hallmark movie one time.
Oh boy.
Christmas.
Yeah, it probably was. It probably was. Let's talk about the huge swing in temperatures today. We started out at 47 degrees this morning, guys. It was chilly. That was around 6:17. By this afternoon, we are forecasting to be near 82. So that's going to be about a 35-degree temperature swing. Jackets in the morning, shorts and T-shirts in the afternoon. It's one of those kind of days because it is so dry. By noontime today, we should be around 70 degrees, and then a little bit later, as we said, into the 80s, 82 here in town, but mid-80s to the south, 70s in the hill country. Sunny skies for everybody. Less wind today. Thank goodness. We're tired of the wind and the fire danger. However, I must tell you, the fire danger comes back into play tomorrow with gusty winds again. Okay, it is Fiesta. Fiestas tonight. So excited. 80 degrees by 4 o'clock, 7 p.m. 78, 65 by 10 p.m. Comfortable. Low humidity, as we said, that sunset's around 7:52. I have a feeling it's going to be very crowded out there tonight. You may want to get there early. Here's the extended forecast. 84 coming up tomorrow, a little bit windy, 87 on Saturday, some morning clouds, 88 Sunday. Monday's the day we're watching. We've got the river parade.
Wait
there
a minute.
is a chance for storms, especially late on Monday, and there is potential for a couple strong storms. So that's the time frame we'll have to watch. We'll have to iron out the details as we get a little bit closer. We can kind of lock in on the timing there, but
Don't be raining on my parade now.
no. We don't want to.
Literally?
River Parade is one of my
Literally and
favorites. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe it'll time out well. We'll see. But I can tell you Tuesday and Wednesday it'll be warm, 90s. Here's what you're going to love. Looks like we've got a front coming in Thursday of next week. That could cool us down for Battle of Flowers. Give us some pretty comfortable weather.
Okay.
Like in the 70s, low 80s maybe?
Possibly.
Possibly. That's my
This
that's my
Fiesta celebration is presented by
Yeah, just don't rain on David's parade. That's basically, the takeaway from all that.
Monday night about 11 o'clock. Bring it on.
Okay.
That way I can do the parade and get home and everything be fine.
Be all good.
We
Yeah.
don't want you sweating like last year.
No. Yeah.
No, yeah, it'll be different. I'm guessing it'll be different temperature
Yeah.
swings there. I was
be
actually
great.
out this morning at the Cavaliers,
Yeah.
the
How's
Barge
it looking?
preview. It looks great. Yeah, I love it.
They got
The
some-
Texas Al Fresco is going to have a lot of
Yeah.
great stuff there. 3D, these giant sort of reindeer and not reindeer, just deer, Texas hunting and things of that nature. So good stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Looking
Yeah.
forward to that. And of course tonight we're talking about Fiesta. Justin, Adam Cassidy's going to be there, right, tonight? And he's going to have his confetti cannon. Canyon
Boom,
de
there we go.
Cascarone. So I mean,
It's a fan favorite for sure.
now we know it's a party if he shows up with that cannon thing, blasting confetti everywhere. Then it's a party. Going to be some
We were
hats
talking
there,
about,
I'm
yes.
sure. Some people dressed like
Crowns,
that, I'm
medals,
sure.
sashes.
So it starts at,
Tonight,
Tonight?
Hemisphere Plaza, yes. Fiesta
Plaza.
tonight. Yeah.
and it's going to kick off Fiesta. And of course, as we mentioned, Alicia Barrera is preparing. That's why she's not here. And then it's going to be Ursula Perry and Steve Spriester.
Oh,
Are gonna
yeah,
be your hosts
definitely,
on
definitely.
KSAT 12. And I think Mike and Fiona are going to be from SA Live. Are going to be in house doing some hosting as well.
It's
So
going to be a
just
lot of
big
fun
party.
out there. A lot of fun out there. A lot of medals. A lot of everything as we get set for Fiesta. And again, last year, so there was an abbreviated Fiesta
Yeah.
last year. This is the first time that it's actually officially back to its normal calendar, the springtime calendar. And just a ton of people are excited about this. Expect it's a great crowd out there.
So
tonight.
if you're new to San Antonio and you're not
Oh,
sure
boy,
about going down there, then you can watch it at 8 o'clock on
Yeah.
KSAT 12 and all our social media platforms. But if you really want to get in and start feeling what it's like to be in San Antonio during Fiesta, then head on down there, like we said, a little early.
Right.
Find you a good place to park and then go down there and just bring your party atmosphere hat, your party atmosphere clothes, and your party
always-
atmosphere attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I always love, especially when we get new people here at KSAT and they ask about Fiesta.
Yeah.
They've never experienced it. So Lee Waldman was asked me yesterday. She said, "Well, what do I do for Fiesta?" And I was like, "Whoa, that is such a loaded question." I mean, just prepare
Yeah.
yourself, pace yourself, prepare yourself. It's going to be a fun week and a half, but there are a ton of events going
A
on.
lot of stuff going on. Before we get to that, we're going to get to our KSAT 12 news at noon coming up in less than an hour. So you can join us for that over on Channel 12. Investigators are looking into a fatal crash that happened on I-35.
Yeah,
Remember
absolutely.
that one?
Yeah, and we might get some more information on that fire that Jonathan was covering covering earlier
Yeah.
today. And David, are you going to hurt people by showing that Spurs recap, or is that what
That's
we're going to
Larry
show?
Ramirez is here
yes,
today. He gets
that
to
missed
take the hit
layup
for that.
That missed layup by
that's
Calvin Johnson.
Larry will be
Tough
here for
break
that.
there.
And we're also expecting some words from President Biden talking about oil and how he can help reduce the price of oil. So we'll see.
Real quick, I know that we're getting wrapped up here, but some people on Facebook saying, obviously the Ukrainian stuff. Elida Moreno says, "Thank you everyone who is able to help and donate to Ukraine." People reacting to the Hispanic Elvis passing away. May he rest in peace, and thank you for your performing at Fiesta. So yeah, people commenting on Facebook. We definitely appreciate that.
It's been a tough day for a lot of folks. So say your prayers and pass out your condolences, and then try to ease the pain a little bit tonight.
There you go.
At Fiesta.
Yeah.
So
All right.
how about
Should
that?
be a lot
works
of fun.
out. Yep.
All right, David. Thank you very much for being with us for another one of our bro shows. We love to have these, and we will see you tomorrow. KSAT News Now at 11 a.m.